It's 1 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. I should be at work, but I'm bunking off because it stopped raining for long enough to get out and enjoy a ride for an hour. Here's the 3 things I'm doing to keep myself sane during lockdown. This lockdown is lasting longer than a bloody German opera. You've read every single book you've got. You've watched every film on Netflix about cycling and been through every single GCN video. In desperation, you've rearranged your cycling socks and lined up all of your cycling kit in the wardrobe. So unless you're lucky enough to live somewhere that's virtually COVID-free and you're still cycling outdoors, like the rest of us in Europe, you're probably in some form of lockdown. In the UK, we're partly through another period of lockdown where we've been told we can exercise and we can go out on bikes, but we should stay local, without anybody actually defining what local is. Although we do know that some people lose their shit if you ride your bike 7 miles from home. I mean, give the guy a break. Riding a bike is literally his only redeeming feature. So you could go for KOM challenges, in my case not very likely. You could pick all the Strava segments closest to your house and just try and get a PR on all of those. Or you could do the 60-minute hill climb challenge, where you pick a local hill and try and get as much elevation as you can in 60 minutes. Let's have a crack at that then. I know, not exactly Everesting, is it? Bloody hell, it's cold. And there's not a whole lot to look at either. So I'm on my way to meet one of my oldest friends to get out just for an hour, grab a takeaway coffee together and set the world to rights. No matter what you put on there, you're not going to go any faster.
Oh, I am. I'm going to go so much faster.
We're not the only people who had the idea of coming out for a coffee, that's the thing.
Ding, ding, ding.
No, it looks like a shit boy band reunion where everyone gets to say, fucking hell, they've let themselves go.
Let themselves go, haven't they? They were great in the 60s, but look at them now.
Yeah.
How's your pension?
That's your pension, exactly.
Big in it.
I think your bum looks big, probably in everything. There's not a lot you can do about it. Well, I'm taking the view that any ride on a bike is a good ride. So I'm off for a little spin on my Brompton. Well, not every ride I do is a training ride. Sometimes it's just nice to get outside and explore, get a bit of headspace. It's good for your mental health. I mean, who doesn't love a castle when they're out on a ride? Well, I was going to show you a clip of me on my indoor trainer, but I appear to have damaged the belt. That may be the most technical thing I've ever done in my life. Of course, if you're fortunate enough to have an indoor trainer and linked to Zwift, you can really get into it. You can use it and follow their training plans. You can go for the badges, you can do races. And of course, if you really get into it, you'll be reading Zwift Insider, checking out which routes you've done on Zwift Hub, signing up to races and checking out your performance on Zwift Power, or even designing your training programs on what's on Zwift. Personally, I find the biggest value with Zwift is it helps me stay in contact with my club mates at Lanterne Rouge. We're still doing 3 club rides a week together, and by using headphones and something like WhatsApp or Discord, we're able to chat together. So even if you can't be together physically, you can still be together virtually. And I'm sure there are going to be people who are going to ask me how I managed to snap the drive belt on my Diretto trainer. I'm going with too much power. Maybe that's not true, but that's the story I'm sticking with. Of course, you know, old Zwift thing's gone too far when you're surveying the countryside and thinking, where's my bloody volcano? Of course, the other great thing about going out on a ride is it gives you time to think, and more importantly, time to plan. Well, the channel's called Riding Along My Home, So my plan is to pick somewhere in Europe, maybe 1,500, 1,800 kilometers away, and ride home. My guess is we're not going to be able to travel abroad much before August or September. The last time I looked on that website that tells you where you are in the queue for the vaccination, there's at least 19 million people in front of me, so it'll be a while. So if that's plan A, I'll probably need a plan B, and probably a plan C, and a plan D, and a plan E. I need plans for what I'll do if I can't actually leave the country. Yeah, so I want to mix in what you might think of as proper bike packing with sleeping in a tent, somewhere wild camping on the way, and more than likely the odd B&B or even a hotel thrown in. Most likely I'm going to ride solo, but maybe there'll be some company along the way. So if I have a plan for September, now all I have to do is to work backwards on 5 things: bike, body, mind, kit, and plan. If I can imagine what the ideal plan A would be, so for those 5 things, and I can describe them, then I can work out the difference between where I am today and where I want to be in order to have that perfect plan A. So for example, I already have the bike, I have my Meteorworks ICEA, but I want to switch to dynamo hubs and change lighting, and probably go to tubeless, so there's some things to sort out with the bike. When it comes to my body, obviously I need to be fit enough to be able to ride at least 100 to 140 kilometers a day if I'm going to do that distance. When it comes to my head, I need to keep working on my mental preparation, which I covered in the last video. When it comes to kit, I'm lucky that over the last 3 years that I've pretty much built up most of the kit I need to wear and take with me, but there's always bound to be other things that I can take with me. I'm particularly looking at changing the tools that I take with me. When it comes to the plan, I need to work out all the logistics of making this thing happen. How am I going to get to the start point? Where am I going to stay along the way? Dates, timing, all of those kind of things. I now have a 7-month period in which to work from where I am today to there, and I need to pick checkpoints along the way, perhaps events that I might do along the way that will help me check out whether I'm actually on target. And that's it. It's not rocket science. I'll have to go and clean my bike before the guys at Meteorworks come back and repossess it. Look at the state of that chain.